I was lucky enough to get exposed to the life coaching skill set 2 years ago. Just was so impressed by how practical and powerful it was, and thought, this is me. So came home from that intensive and quit my job as a chaplain and launched into business. Thought this was going to be easy, and it was a lot harder than I thought.
Jaemin got some assistance from a business coach who advised him to get involved with job service agencies. So I ended up getting involved pretty early on when he was reaching for the stars. He asked me to do some work on business analysis, structure, systems, but I ended up being a coach for the long-term unemployed because we couldn't recruit quickly enough.
I developed a program that represented the best tools that were most applicable to their kind of issues, and ran it for 6 weeks, and it just kind of seemed to be right in the pocket of what they needed. Whereas counselling and psychology didn't seem to have the power to get these clients out of their story, coaching certainly did.
All our programs are designed to allow the coach to cover all areas of life: emotional, mental, physical health, including spirituality. And these bring up the big questions of belief, perception, long-term issues.
I can't begin to describe the joy and sense of fulfillment I feel when I see someone who had no sense of direction find a sense of purpose in life. Someone who felt totally powerless in their situation find an empowering beyond what they could have imagined. Seeing people who feel stuck and trapped where they are find a new sense of freedom and knowing that they have the opportunity to create something within their life beyond what they could have imagined.
It's an amazing company, an amazing opportunity that I was given to become a coach. From being a life coach and the journey that I've been on has been an awesome one. Watching people transform their lives and being part of that and giving them strategies and tools to do that is incredible.
The thing I love about life coaching is the fact that I get to meet people who I wouldn't meet in any other area of my life. Take for instance Pam. She's a 40-year-old mum who's been using heroin for over 20 years. And when she first came to see me, she was using 2 grams a day, which is an $800 a day habit. And in order to be able to sustain her habit while on Centrelink benefits, she obviously was a dealer as well. And while we were going through the process of life coaching over the 6-week period, she managed to reduce her heroin intake from the 2 grams a day down to 1/4 gram a day, and then book herself into detox. And in order to break the cycle of addiction, she also stopped dealing as well.
And I still remember one of the first sessions I had with a client in Yass. He was a guy who was illiterate, and his 5-year-old son had been murdered by his ex-wife's new partner. So he was a guy who was just absolutely, he checked out of life for the last 8 years. Completely stuck, wouldn't look at me, wore a hat and just hid behind the broom. And I remember after that session going out the back and just crying, not because I was sad or sorry for this guy, but just because of the incredible privilege it was to bring hope to a guy who'd been without hope for such a long time. So for the last 2 years that's been the journey, and it's been an absolute joy to train them. And I think that's probably been the most exciting thing for me, because I think it just changes the game for them. It just opens up a whole new world of possibilities